Happy Saturday, everybody. Today's topic is the Freedom Truck convoys running through Canada. We're going there. They're really starting to annoy me. And I'm going to tell you why. I was reading on Facebook a whole bunch of these posts. And they talk about how they're non-violent and they're friendly and they're not causing any trouble and they're doing it for our freedom and our rights and the rights for us to be free from all the restrictions that are put on us through this pandemic. Well, I find a lot of that very interesting. Considering, well, let's start with the non-violent and friendly, non-racist. Let's start with all that. And let's go to Ottawa. There's been reports of them using people's backyards as public toilets. I call that disgusting, rude, and just completely disrespectful. I saw pictures of them starting fires for warming and cooking on the Parliament building lawns. Again, disrespectful, rude, inconsiderate. People using outdoor charging stations at people's homes to charge phones and run other electronic devices without permission. Disrespectful, rude. Oh yeah, attacking homeless people and stealing their food. Violent, rude, disrespectful. We'd call that somewhat racist. Well, I guess homeless people aren't a race. But still, you're attacking vulnerable people and stealing their food? Come on, guys. I know it's not all of them, but you've started this and you have allowed bad apples into the group. What else have I heard? There were fights, or not fights, I heard somewhere there were some police attacked. Can't remember where that was, but it was in Canada. I have heard in Winnipeg that 4 people got run over last night or Thursday night at the Truck Freedom rally here, or there I should say. Disrespectful. Big disrespectful thing that has happened, and very, very angry for me. They talk about freedom, wanting freedom for this country. Yet they go and they deface the statue of Terry Fox. What is that? They're doing investigations into criminal activity because of that. And the one that irks me the most is people were videotaped jumping on the tomb of the unknown soldier. Why? You're talking about freedom for our country. That man died fighting for freedom for our country against tyrants who wanted to take over the world. Nobody knows who he is. And you're going to jump on his tomb? He was a soldier, a true life hero. And you're going to jump on his tomb. I hope they find out who you were. And I hope they throw the book at you. Because that is so disrespectful to not only him, but all soldiers, all veterans, dead or alive, that fought for real freedom of this country. That is wrong. So very wrong. Now let's speak about you fighting for freedom of this country. You fighting for what you say is everybody's freedom and right. I never asked you to fight for me. So many people in this country never asked you to fight. We never voted you in. If there was a vote, I certainly didn't have any part in it. I don't like wearing masks. I have a hard time breathing in them. But I wear them because I know it helps. As soon as the word came out that we had to start wearing them, I started wearing them. There was no questions asked on my part. Nobody forced me to get the vaccine. Nobody held a gun to my head and said, you have to get it. I got it out of my own free will. I've gotten 3 of them. I've also got the pneumonia shot and the flu shot this year. And I'll keep getting shots. Pneumonia, flu, whatever shots I need to get. Including COVID shots. I don't care. I have health issues. And I'll keep getting them. As long as I have to get them to make sure that I stay healthy. I know lots of people that work in healthcare that have gotten them out of their own free will. Nobody that I know of has been forced to get a vaccine. But I certainly didn't ask you to fight for me. So don't say you're fighting for me. My husband feels the same way. We didn't ask you to fight for us. So please, don't say you're fighting for us. Because you're not. Yes, I want to see this end. I'm tired of COVID. I'm tired of the restrictions. I have mental health issues. I need to be out socializing. They've told me that. I've been in 2 different mental health facilities in a month because I'm not socializing enough. It's causing my anxiety and my depression to get worse. I'm a very social person. But it doesn't mean I'm going to go out and say, oh, I'm going to protest. I'm going to say I'm here to support everybody. I'm speaking for all the people in Canada. No, because I'm not in charge of everybody in Canada. If I really wanted to, I would contact my leaders and say, okay, is there something you can do? Because I've contacted leaders before when I've had a voice that I needed to be heard. And they have heard my voice, and they have spoken up for me personally. And they've made things happen for me personally. But I'm not going to sit here and let you say that you're doing this all on my behalf when you're not doing it on my behalf. It's really beginning to irk me. And I've gone so long without things getting under my skin. That's one of the things I've been able to deal with. Because things used to get to me so easy. And I've been able to get rid of that. And it's helped me develop into a better person. But this is really beginning to irk me. And let's face it, if our government opens up the borders so you don't have to have a vaccination to get through, you still can't get through because the U.S.'s restrictions say that you have to have a vaccine to cross the border. Oh, so if those truck drivers don't have a vaccine, they're still not going to be able to cross the border. Duh. And what happens if the government goes one step further? Says you can't go into a box store without having a vaccine. You can't go into a restaurant without having a vaccine right now. Then what are you going to do? I was sick for over a year with a really bad sinus infection. My nose was constantly running. I'd go out to the store and I was constantly sticking my hand up my mask to wipe my nose, and people would look at me like I was contagious. So I've dealt with it. I've dealt with so many COVID tests over the last year. But you know what? I still went through with it. I still had them done. I haven't had COVID once. My family? I've had a lot of family members with COVID. Some very sick family members. People that were sick before they got COVID. But you know what? They've all survived. And mostly, that's because they had the shot before they got COVID. So it wasn't as bad for them. I know a few people who've gotten COVID after they've gotten the shot. They've gotten a milder case. And I do believe it's because they got the shot. So before you start saying God bless to all these truck drivers, they're not gods. They're just people who have put themselves into a position to be idolized. Because that's what people are doing. People are starting to idolize them. I didn't want to turn this into a religious thing, but it's going there. God says we shall not idolize anybody but Him. From some of the things I was reading on Facebook, it sure seems like people are starting to idolize these truck drivers for what they're doing. And I don't believe that's right. They're human beings like us. They've just put themselves into a place of power where they shouldn't be. Don't get me wrong, truck drivers are amazing people. My brother was a truck driver. My sister was married to a truck driver. I have friends who were truck drivers. I dated a truck driver. You know? They do amazing things for us. They do hard work. But still, instead of sitting on Parliament buildings' lawns or legislative building lawns right now, they should be delivering our supplies across Canada. Because they can still travel across Canada. Come on, guys. People are getting hurt. People are getting false information. Let's not do this. We need to work together. Together. To get through this. The end is near. If we end it too soon, the numbers are going to go back up and people are going to get really sick again. And then what's going to happen? We're going to go back into a serious lockdown. Let's not do this. If we keep on the path we're on, it will end soon. We need to stay strong, stay together, support each other, and do what we can to get through this pandemic together. I know it's frustrating. It's frustrating for everybody. Nobody likes this. Nobody wants to be like this. But it doesn't mean you need to be going out there and having people acting like fools. You may not be doing these things, But because you're holding these protests, it's giving the fools the right to join you. And I don't see you stopping the idiots from being idiots. Now you have groups donating food to you. What about us people who can't work because of disabilities, and we're suffering because we don't make enough money to put groceries on our table, and the food banks aren't giving us enough food? Maybe it's all going to you guys now. That's not fair for us. You guys can work. We can't. So come on. Be smart. That's all I have for today. Thank you for listening to my rant.